Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today, as always. And it's a snowy day in St. Louis, Missouri today. I can't wait until spring. All right, before we begin, hit that like button now and subscribe and the notification bell. And remember to leave a comment in the comment section if you find anything that resonates with you, or if you would like me to speak on something. Okay, let's begin. Today's topic is going to be, does water run uphill? Yeah, strange, right? Water run uphill? No, it doesn't, because that would go against the laws of nature, gravity. Okay, can men lead women? Yes, they can, because throughout history, from the beginning of time, men have led women. Now, is it possible that a woman can lead a man? Yes, there are outliers. But usually, the woman will lead a man into a ditch, or to death, or to destruction. I know a lot of women aren't going to like that, but I'm not speaking to women here. I'm speaking to men. Most of my viewers are men, and I may have a few women. And I'm not talking about all women, but in general, most women cannot lead a man or a family, nor do they want to. It goes against the fundamental laws of nature. Now, some of us, maybe you've thought this, I would like women to be the way that we've been taught that they are. You know, from Disney and TV, sitcoms, different things like that. Well, maybe not the way the sitcoms portray women now, but we all want that romantic love story, the live happily ever after one that we grew up with. At least I grew up with that anyway. But it goes against the laws of nature, the laws of how women are and the laws of how men are. It just doesn't work. And 60 years of women's liberation is not going to change that. Women will never be men, thank God, and men will never be women. That's not the natural order of things. I don't care if you have a sex change, or wear a dress, or if you're a woman, you wear pants and cut your hair off, you're not going to be a man. Now, you may have masculine traits and you may have feminine traits, depending on which gender you are. And I grew up in a time when we only had two genders. If you had a penis, you were a man. If you had a vagina, you were a girl. Now, that's not to say that some men don't have more feminine traits than others. And some women are masculine. We used to call that a tomboy. Now we have some, I think, 63 different genders, and I guess they all have different names. Someone can enlighten me in the comments if you like. And it goes according to how you feel. I haven't studied on this because I'm really not too interested in it. It seems to me we have to have some way to differentiate between the sexes, and is that racist or biased if we do? I don't quite understand the viewpoints of people who think that we don't need that. It seems to work. It seems to have worked for thousands of years. But for some reason, some of us want to change that. But I think of the swimmer, I'm not sure where he was at here in the U.S. It was a she, and then he had a sex change to a he, a transgender, I think is what that's called. He was like number 284th ranked in swimming. And when he had the sex change, now he's number one and is breaking records. And the administration, the coaches, everyone is afraid to say something about it or to protest because of I'm not sure why they're afraid. If my daughter was in that school and she was a swimmer, I would be protesting because it's unfair. And I have to wonder what kind of a person or what kind of a character a person has that would have a sex change and then compete and then win and let me me see, how do I say it? And feel like that was okay, or at least be honorable. It would be like me changing to a woman, I guess, as he did, yeah. Or having a sex change and then competing against women and then me acting like I was really good. I just, to me, it's like cheating in a race. I've run a lot of races, or cheating in a fight. I fought a guy once and he put a half a horseshoe in his glove. It was at the prison. I wasn't in prison. Well, I was there, but I wasn't a resident of the prison. And this guy just beat the crap out of me. Now, was that fair? Did he feel good about that? Maybe he did, but let's talk about the character of that man. He was in prison, and probably there for a reason, because maybe he had some moralistic views that weren't quite, how do I say, congruent with society. And I look at that as the same way as this man who changed himself to a woman, and now he's competing against women. And I don't understand why there's not more of an outcry against that, because we are all about equalism and fair and all this. How can that be fair? How can that be considered fair? He may have the, how do I say it, the equipment of a woman now, but he is physically and genetically, biologically still, in the rest of his body, a man, which is obvious by the results he's getting now as he competes against women, compared to the results he got when he was a man, or it's kind of confusing, and competed as a man. 284th compared to number 1 and breaking records now. I'm not sure where we're going with this gender thing, but it doesn't seem like it's a good direction to me. We have men, we have women. But I didn't start out with that. I started out with leading. Men lead women. It's not the other way around. It's only because we have a society today that men have set systems and structures in place where women have the illusion that they don't need men. Let us be involved in a situation like the Ukraine, unfortunately for them, and I'll guarantee you women will realize how much they need men. They will be looking for toxic masculinity, because they will need toxic masculinity to survive. Women live, most women, not all women, live in an illusion of independence. And none of us are independent. We are all interdependent. For us men, without women, we would not survive either, because humanity would disappear. We have to breed, we have to mate, otherwise we will not continue to perpetuate as a race. So this subversion maybe, or I'm not sure what's going on, but I see a thing where here in the US at least, and in the Western world, something or someone or some, or they or whoever they are, seems to be trying to turn men against women, when in reality we need to work together. It's not men against women. It's not us against them. We need to work together. And we need to find a way to do that. This conflict between men and women will accomplish nothing except maybe more profits for big companies. Consumerism. It creates more consumerism. Women spend most of the money, and men make most of the money. So why are we trying to change it? Well, you and I aren't, but somebody is. We just need to take a look at that. And you need to consider that the next time you're bad-mouthing women, or if you're a woman, bad-mouthing men, and talking about how terrible they are, or how different they are, or how you can't get along with them. Well, we need to find a way to get along. Try to understand that women are different. They're not going to think like you. And really, do you want them to? Do you want women to be like men? Hell, I don't. Wouldn't that be boring? If I want that, I'll just hang out with my buddies and what will I do for sex? I'm not gay, so I'm not going to mate with my buddies and couldn't have any kids if I did. And women, would you want men to be like you? Wouldn't that be boring? So we have to accept the differences of each other and work with that. Instead of trying to change the laws of nature, the laws of women, they're not going to change. You have to learn how women think. Now, you will never understand completely because you're not a woman, but you need to understand them, that they're emotional beings. They don't think like you do. You as a man are more logical, or at least you should be if you're in your masculine. You need to be more in your masculine, and the women need to be more in their feminine. And what we have here in the U.S. is a lot of women trying to live in their masculine, and we have men who are almost becoming feminine, trying to adapt to this masculinity of women, this movement of masculinity, which started back in the 60s. I've seen it evolve through the years, and it hasn't been good. 70% of the divorces are initiated by women. And I think there's a 50-50 chance that you will be divorced if you marry. So what is the point of marrying? If it's the chances, it's like flipping a coin. And for a man, you have nothing to gain. Nothing to gain, everything to lose. So that's something to consider before you think about getting married. So if you can find a woman who will follow you, and you need to be a good leader. It's not like a tyrant over his servants. That's not what I'm talking about. A good leader blesses those who follow him. And everybody who follows a good leader benefits from this. So keep that in mind the next time you want to badmouth women or walk away from them. And if you don't like the women in the States, go out of the country. There are many feminine women in the world who realize the value of a man. And you say, hey, I can't afford to do that. Well, then get yourself in a position where you can do that. And you won't be so constricted here. Fish in a bigger pond. Okay, that's all I have time for today. If you'd like to get my help personally, you can contact me at my email, which will be in the description, or my website, marksinspiration.com. And if you feel this video is of value to you, you can hit the PayPal donate button and give whatever you think the value is worth, or I'll put the Cash App link on there and you can use that. Share this with a friend. Remember, smash that like button now and subscribe. And thank you to my 1,351 subscribers today. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, because who would be listening? See you later. Have a great day.